Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, President Trump's retribution campaign strikes again, tracking a weekend nor'easter, and why Michael is tired but very happy this Friday.
Indicted. The Trump administration targets another political adversary. This time, New York Attorney General Letitia James, who brought a $500 million civil fraud case against Trump and his family, now facing mortgage-related charges brought by Trump's hand-picked prosecutor after public pressure from the president himself. Despite a 5-month investigation uncovering no clear evidence James committed fraud. How James is responding this morning.
Breaking overnight. The ceasefire deal has taken effect. 200 U.S. troops heading to Israel to monitor the ceasefire. The hostages set to return home early next week. Now, what President Trump is saying about phase 2 of the deal.
Bracing for a possible nor'easter. The strong coastal storm expected to bring direct impacts to major cities as Sam tracks the frost and freeze alerts right now.
Growing pressure. As the government shutdown drags on, federal workers prepare to go without paychecks. Some military families line up outside food pantries. One military spouse confronts Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson on live TV.
My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly.
Super Bowl winning coach Bill Belichick firing back. Will UNC buy out his 5-year, $50 million contract after just 5 games?
It's not just gold. Silver surging to the highest price in decades. Why investors are flocking to precious metals.
Rap battle in court.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like...
A federal judge is named a winner in the fight over Kendrick Lamar's hit song. Now, the reaction from Drake.
Tinsel trouble. The new warning about artificial Christmas trees.
Going back to the future and back to family ties with Michael J. Fox.
You were doing this movie.
I was completely doing it.
How he almost didn't see Fox as Marty McFly, and his favorite scene after 40 years.
Wild ending.
Gotta find it, throws to the plate. Oh my goodness, he throws it away, and the Dodgers have won.
LA moves on, and Philly goes down. Which brings me to the 1-2 punch.
He can run all the way to the end zone.
The Giants grounding the Eagles overnight.
Touchdown.
And the rookies leading my G-men.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Trust me, I did not pick that song, Celebration. And you know, I'm not even going to brag or gloat or nothing. Let's just get on with the day.
Okay, I've been looking forward.
Nothing big happened last night on Thursday Night Football. Nothing.
I was looking forward to this morning just to see your face, just to see the smile on your face, Michael. Good morning, America. Yeah, we've got so much to get to today, and Michael will feel like a winner throughout the day. Sam is standing by, tracking the nor'easter, threatening the weekend.
First, President Trump's retribution campaign. His hand-picked U.S. attorney indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James on bank fraud charges, first rejected by career prosecutors. This comes just 2 weeks after an indictment of former FBI Director James Comey that was also rejected by previous prosecutors. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky starts us off. Good morning, Aaron.
It was just 2 weeks ago, George, President Trump told the Justice Department to get things moving against his political foes, and now 2 of them are facing federal charges.
This morning, for the second time in 2 weeks, the Justice Department has indicted a political enemy of President Trump. This time, New York Attorney General Letitia James, who brought a $500 million civil fraud case against Trump and his family. He had publicly demanded Attorney General Pam Bondi charge James, posting recently on social media, "We can't delay any longer."
It looks to me like she's very guilty of something.
Now James is facing 2 mortgage-related charges, accusing her of using a home in Norfolk, Virginia as a rental investment property, while claiming it would be her secondary residence, saving herself nearly $19,000 over the life of the loan.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost.
Trump forced out the prior U.S. attorney who he had appointed after that prosecutor refused to seek an indictment. Sources told ABC News his 5-month investigation uncovered no clear evidence James committed fraud. The charges were brought by Trump's handpicked replacement, his one-time personal attorney, Lindsey Halligan, an insurance lawyer with no previous experience as a prosecutor. Trump pledged Halligan would get things moving. And she did, bringing cases against Trump's nemesis, former FBI Director James Comey, and now Letitia James. Elected officials in New York now rallying around her, calling the indictment a sham.
Donald Trump, she does not fear you. You fear her. And it is evident in what you are attempting to do in taking down this amazing woman.
James must appear in federal court in Norfolk, Virginia, October 24th. As ProPublica has reported, 3 of Trump's cabinet members have claimed multiple primary residences on loan documents. All have denied wrongdoing. So far, Michael, none of them has been charged with anything.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Aaron. And we're going to turn now to the breaking news in the Middle East. The ceasefire deal has taken effect. President Trump says he's planning to travel to the region this weekend. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, has the latest for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Michael. Well, after 2 years of devastating war this morning, a historic pause. The Israeli military now scaling back troops to those agreed upon borders. Hamas readying to finally release the remaining hostages. And there is now cautious optimism for this significant step towards peace. This morning, joy and relief as a ceasefire is now in effect, paving the way for the remaining hostages to be released early next week after being held by Hamas for more than 2 years. In Gaza, thousands seen heading north back to Gaza City, just moments after the ceasefire was made official. The Israeli government overnight approving the first phase of the deal with Hamas. Trump's top negotiators, envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner, there with Prime Minister Netanyahu. This morning, 200 U.S. troops now heading to Israel to monitor the ceasefire, working with other international forces, though officials stress the U.S. military will not go into Gaza. At the White House, the president celebrating too, calling the deal a momentous breakthrough.
I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
Right now, what's been agreed to is phase 1. Hamas set to release the 20 living hostages early next week and the remains of 28 others who perished. In return, Israel releasing more than 1,000 Palestinian prisoners and pulling back its troops in Gaza to an agreed-upon line. The big question, then what? The president's 20-point plan had called for Hamas to disarm and for Gaza to be governed by an apolitical Palestinian committee overseen by an international board of peace with Trump as its chairman. I asked the president, what comes next? What guarantees Hamas disarms and that Israel doesn't resume bombing once the hostages are released?
The first thing we're doing is getting our hostages back, okay? And that's what people wanted more than anything else. They wanted these hostages back that have lived in hell like nobody has ever even dreamt possible. And after that, we'll see.
But what is phase 2? When does it begin?
I'm not going to talk about that because you sort of know what phase 2 is, but there will be disarming, there will be pullbacks, there will be a lot of things that are happening.
Months ago, Trump said the Palestinians would have to leave Gaza. His 20-point plan outlined a different approach, saying we will encourage people to stay. I asked him if that still holds. Can you confirm that as Gaza is rebuilt, that no one will be forced to leave?
Yeah, nobody's going to be forced to leave, no. It's just the opposite.
In Gaza, hope, but also uncertainty. I hope this happiness will be fulfilled and the ceasefire deal will last. This displaced mother says, we don't want them to take their hostages and then return to war. Now, as part of this initial phase, desperately needed humanitarian aid will be allowed into Gaza, though it's not exactly clear when. The Israeli military now has 24 hours to scale back its troops. After that, Hamas will have 72 hours to release all of the remaining hostages. That is expected early next week. And President Trump says he is heading to the region in the coming days, George.
Okay, Mary, the Nobel Peace Prize announced this morning. President Trump had been campaigning for that based on his work in the Middle East. He didn't get it.
He did not, George. Instead, the Nobel Peace Prize has gone to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Machado. The Nobel Prize Committee recognizing her for her, quote, tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela and her work to achieve a peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy. Trump had hoped he was in the running for this, but he said yesterday, George, quote, whatever they do is fine.
Mary Bruce, thanks. Rebecca?
All right, George, thank you. You guys feel the air in New York right now. It's cold. It's very cold. And we're turning now to the nor'easter taking aim. Sam is here with that. And Sam, this is like... And the cold. And the cold, because it just kind of happened overnight. A minute ago, it was warm.
Yeah, it was. And very warm, like 80 degrees. But welcome to what I call crunchy grass season. That's when, and a million of us have it. It's the first frost and freeze when you step out and you hear the crunch on the lawn.
Yeah.
No, nobody?
No, Minnesota, 1,000% we did.
All right,
this.
let's get back. We're going to show you millions of us are waking up to temperatures like this. These are the coldest temperatures so far this morning. So Binghamton at 31, Hartford at 34. Look at New York at 46. Freeze warnings are out through early in the morning, right around 9 a.m., and then it's done. But let's talk about the big system on the board that's going to handle the whole weekend for the eastern seaboard. We've got these coastal flood watches and high surf advisory because right here, we're going to watch an area of low pressure develop. This low is going to be stormy enough for southern areas, but it becomes a nor'easter. And look at the high wind watch that's already out. For wind impact here that are up to 60 miles per hour, we're going to do a deep dive at 8 a.m. about this and who it affects. So catch us then. George?
Okay, Sam, thanks. We're going to turn now to the deadlock over the government shutdown. Day 10, no end in sight, as many federal workers are about to get their last paychecks until the government reopens. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott is on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. The Senate has now tried and failed 7 times to pass a bill to fund the government. Lawmakers have now left town as we head into day 10 of this shutdown, as military families worry they won't get a paycheck.
This morning, with no end to this government shutdown in sight, many Americans on edge. Near Fort Hood, Texas, military families lining up for hours outside a food pantry. And on live television, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson confronted by one woman who says she's a military spouse from Virginia.
I have 2 medically fragile children. I have a husband who actively serves this country.
She told Johnson she is outraged she won't bring the House back into session to pass emergency funding to pay the troops.
As a Republican, I'm very disappointed in my party, and I'm very disappointed in you because you do have the power to call the House back. You did that, or you refused to do that just for a show. I am begging you to pass this legislation. My kids could die. We don't have the credit because of the medical bills that I have to pay regularly. You could stop this, and you could be the one that could say military's getting paid. And I think that it is awful, and the audacity of someone who makes 6 figures a year to do this to military families is insane.
But Johnson is refusing to bring a military funding bill to the floor, drawing criticism from Democrats.
Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are preventing your family from getting the care they need, not Republicans, and my heart goes out to you.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries saying he would support a bill to pay the troops.
So would you support a standalone bill for military members?
Yes, and what House Republicans need to do is come back so we can address the military pay issue and reopen the government.
And this morning, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy really trying to increase the pressure on air traffic controllers, many of whom started calling out sick to work this week, leading to travel delays, staffing shortages at airports. He's now threatening to fire them if they do not show up to work. They are considered essential workers, supposed to work without pay during this government shutdown. Meanwhile, the lawmakers that left Capitol Hill, they are still getting their paychecks, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks very much, Rebecca.
Okay, George, we're going to turn now to the Trump administration finalizing a $20 billion Argentina bailout. Elizabeth Schulze has that story. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning, Rebecca. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says the U.S. finalized this controversial $20 billion financial lifeline for Argentina and also took the unusual step of directly buying Argentine pesos. This move is designed to prop up Argentina's struggling currency and support the country's embattled President Javier Milei, who's an ally of President Trump and faces midterm elections in a few weeks. Democrats and some Republicans are accusing the Trump administration of bailing out Argentina at a time when hundreds of thousands of federal workers here aren't getting paid, and American farmers are facing their own financial hardship. And there's the big question of what the U.S. gets in return for this deal. Bessent says it's about maintaining U.S. interests in the region, but Wall Street firms with ties to the Treasury Secretary could also benefit, like billionaire investor Rob Citron, who previously worked at a hedge fund with Bessent and has bet millions on Argentina's economy under Milei. Treasury did not respond to our request for any additional comments about this deal, Rebecca.
All right, exceptional measures there, Elizabeth. Thank you. Michael?
All right, thank you. We're going to turn now to a federal judge blocking the deployment of National Guard troops in Illinois. That was ordered by President Trump. Alex Perez is in Chicago with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. The judge here at the federal courthouse listened to 2.5 hours of arguments from both sides before issuing her decision to block the deployment of the National Guard. Now, Judge April Perry granting the request from the city of Chicago and state of Illinois, issuing a temporary restraining order, which means that federal officials are temporarily enjoined from ordering the federalization and deployment of the National Guard of the United States within Illinois for at least the next 14 days. The judge in her ruling saying DHS's perceptions of events are simply unreliable and referencing what she called the provocative nature of ICE enforcement activity in Illinois, saying, "I find allowing the National Guard to deploy will only add fuel to the fire they started." Now, 500 National Guardsmen had been called up, 300 from Illinois and 200 from Texas. Some had already been deployed to an ICE facility in the suburbs. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul calling the judge's ruling a victory. Now, the judge denied a motion to stay the order, and attorneys for the government have already filed a notice of appeal. Michael?
I'm sure that was expected, Alex. Thank you. George?
Okay, Michael, I don't know why they threw it back to me, because I'm going to throw it back to you. Will Reeve here with the easiest assignment of the morning.
Yeah, there you go. We got the Giants game for you here.
Yeah,
Good morning, everybody. And a stat for you, George, off the top. For the first time since October 10th, today of 1993, the Philadelphia Eagles, Phillies, and Flyers were all playing on the same night, and it did not go well at all. The Eagles came into their Thursday night game against the New York Giants with a 4-1 record, but they haven't looked great doing it, and certainly not great last night. Giants rookie quarterback Jackson Dart and rookie running back Cam Skattebo running roughshod over the Philly defense. And Skattebo has quickly become a fan favorite. His favorite place last night, the end zone. He ran for 3 touchdowns. And the Eagles' offense has been stagnant and disjointed all year. Certainly was last night. This late game interception from Jalen Hurts was the final dagger. The Eagles lose their second straight game for the first time in 2 years. Across the country, in Game 4 of the National League Division Series in L.A., the Phillies' World Series hopes were crushed. They lost in extra innings on this debacle of an error. The pitcher throwing it away. The Dodgers win. They're on to the NLCS for the second year in a row as L.A. returns there. And then the Flyers lost their season opener 2-1 to the Florida Panthers.
So
and that's
you're
the Philly sports
You're going to
report.
stay out of Philly for a few days.
I love Philly, by the way. Great people, great food, great sports town, just not a great sports night.
Oh,
there you go.
I'm going to Philly today. Roll the windows
Just
down.
walk the streets.
Just roll the windows down and ride through the city. Say hello to all the nice people down there. All right, thank you, Will. Coming up, we have the latest in the Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap battle, where a federal judge ruled in the lawsuit over the hit Not Like Us.
Also, Bill Belichick responding to reports he could be sacked midway through his first season at UNC.
And it's not just gold. Silver has now soared to its highest price in decades. We're going to tell you why. And coming up, a look back at Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox. We'll be back.
Welcome back to GMA. That is literally so much of a classic moment from Back to the Future. Marty McFly performing Johnny Be Good. This morning, George is sharing his one-on-one conversation with the one and only Michael J. Fox. We're going to hear what the actor is revealing about that scene. And George, it looks like
great,
such a
really fun
conversation.
conversation. He's got a new book out that talks about what it was like. Remember, he was in Family Ties at exactly the same time, and he was filming Family Ties all day long, doing Back to the Future at night, basically 24-hour days for 40 days in a row. Incredible stories. Looking forward to that. First new at 7:30, a federal judge in Florida ordered the suspected Palisades fire arsonist to remain in jail without bond. 29-year-old is accused of setting the fire that tore through the Los Angeles neighborhood in January, killing 12 people, destroyed nearly 7,000 homes. The suspect moved to Florida from California 5 months ago. Also, the price of silver has reached levels it hasn't seen in 45 years. It's trading at more than $50 an ounce for the first time since 1980. This follows gold trading at $4,000 an ounce for the first time ever. Many investors are flocking to precious metals amid uncertain political and economic times.
And guys, remember this. Earlier, Will told us that the Dodgers advanced to the NL Championship Series in dramatic fashion. Their opponent will be decided by an exciting Game 5. After the Cubs pushed the Brewers to the limit, Chicago scored 3 runs in the first inning, and this home run proved to be enough They beat Milwaukee 6-0. Game 5 is tomorrow night in Milwaukee. So there were a lot of games that weren't that close last night.
Yeah, a lot of great baseball still to come, though. A lot of great baseball last night. Now we're going to turn to the rap battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, playing out in a courtroom. Morgan Norwood is here with a federal judge's decision in a lawsuit over Lamar's hit song, Not Like Us. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning to you, Michael. Let's run it back to 2024 because that was the summer of rap wars. Kendrick Lamar and Drake trading diss tracks and jabs, critics declaring Kendrick the unofficial winner after Not Like Us. But Drake wasn't done, taking the battle from the booth to the courtroom. And this morning, the judge just handed him another L.
They not like us. They not like us.
It's the critically acclaimed hip-hop anthem at the center of one of the most famous rap beefs.
Years all eyes on me and I'ma send it up the pot.
And this morning, the legal battle over Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, a diss track directed at fellow rap superstar Drake, could be near its end after a federal judge tossed Drake's defamation suit against his label, Universal Music Group, determining the song's lyrics in question are non-actionable opinion. Lamar, who is also represented by UMG, is not a defendant, but Drake asked the court to take a look at these lyrics.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young. You better not ever go to cell block 1.
The judge categorizing the lyrics as dealing the metaphorical killing blow, but adding the broader context of a heated rap battle with incendiary language and offensive accusations hurled by both participants would not incline the reasonable listener to believe Not Like Us imparts verifiable facts.
A rap battle historically has always been between two rappers that exchange the most aggressive rhymes that they can in order to insult. What this means for culture going forward is that rap beefs continually will be protected underneath the First Amendment and freedom of speech. This is a part of the culture of hip hop.
Not Like Us was released amid a weeks-long exchange of diss tracks in spring of 2024, and just hours after Drake's Family Matters, which seemingly accused Lamar of cheating on his life partner.
You did it dirty all your life, you tryna make peace. You really about to do it?
Lamar going on to perform the hit at this year's Super Bowl halftime show.
Say, Drake, I hear you like I'm young.
UMG releasing a statement saying from the outset, this suit was an affront to all artists and their creative expression, adding they look forward to continuing their work, successfully promoting Drake's music. Overnight, a spokesperson for Drake telling ABC News they plan to appeal the judge's ruling.
And again, Kendrick Lamar is not named in the lawsuit. He also hasn't responded to our request for comment. Meanwhile, advocates for the Protect Black Art movement are calling this a win for creative freedom. A lot of questions about whether this reignites the beef, if we see more diss tracks, but, you know.
Well, if you're going to lose the lawsuit, just go ahead and go back at them. I mean, people are going.
Yep.
Just don't let it turn violent. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
only in words.
Right. Yes, indeed. Morgan, thank you. We're going to turn now to legendary head football coach Bill Belichick denying reports his rocky tenure at the University of North Carolina could end not long before it began. Will Reeve is back with that story. Will, tell us.
Yeah, this is something. Hello again. So think about how great Bill Belichick's NFL coaching career was. That's about how poorly things have started in his first season as a college head coach at UNC. It's been one thing after another, made worse by one loss after another. This morning, tension growing in Chapel Hill as pressure builds on legendary football coach Bill Belichick, who's off to a disastrous start in his inaugural season at the University of North Carolina.
This game's been going sideways since the opening drive.
Belichick hoping there will be better nights than this one.
Belichick's Tar Heels have a program worst record against Power 4 competition with a 2-3 start to the season. 2 of their 3 losses have been embarrassing blowouts.
This one is cooked, glazed, and sliced, folks.
Last week, in a 38-10 dismantling at the hands of conference rival Clemson, UNC's Kenan Stadium nearly empty well before halftime.
We just got to do a better job of coaching, a better job of playing, and just eliminate the mistakes that are fixable.
And reports this week emerging that the school is exploring buying Belichick out of his 5-year, $50 million contract, and that the 8-time Super Bowl winning coach's resume and pedigree are not worth the current situation. Belichick responding by saying, quote, "I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here." And athletic director Bubba Cunningham adding, quote, "Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University."
there's a divided locker room. There has been a lot of missteps on the recruiting trail. There's not a ton of talent on the roster. And he's rubbed a lot of folks inside the larger organization of the North Carolina athletics department the wrong way as well.
The second winningest coach in NFL history, Belichick arrived with fanfare in Chapel Hill a year after parting ways with the New England Patriots.
Great job. What a win.
In his 2 decades leading Tom Brady and the team to dynastic heights, Belichick was famous for his taciturn personality and insistence that his team minimize distractions. But joining Belichick in Chapel Hill is the 73-year-old coach's 24-year-old girlfriend and apparent off-field manager, Jordan Hudson, who's been an omnipresent figure in this phase of his career. Hudson reportedly attempted to exert editorial control over a planned UNC football-focused edition of HBO's Hard Knocks, the network ultimately killing the project, Belichick claiming it just wasn't a fit.
Also this week, an in-progress Hulu documentary about the team was scrapped, and the team's cornerbacks coach was suspended for a recruiting violation. And it is worth noting that recruiting violations are often used as pretense for a school to minimize or entirely avoid the buyout they must pay a head coach if the school fires that coach.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. People say they're not happy, but you understand, he's never really tried to make people happy, just tried to win football games.
Right.
He was fired from Cleveland, didn't have success there, but he went on to have success with the Patriots. But to turn over a program takes time.
Okay.
I don't think you give a coach a few games
5
and say
games,
he's
yeah.
out, especially a guy with his resume. So
there you go.
my opinion.
Thank you both. A new warning ahead of the holiday season about how tariffs could affect the price and supply of Christmas trees. Sam's got that story.
Morning, George. Good morning again, everyone. Okay, take that countdown calendar and flip the page because it's just 76 days now until Christmas. See, we did that together. But we're already hearing about some tinsel trouble. But I would say, Tannenbaum, that could affect your season. The song, right? All right, whether you're going to be able to get a Christmas tree, but before you plan or make your holiday preparations, check in.
There it is.
This morning, a new warning for those looking for the artificial version of that perfect Christmas vacation tree.
The Griswold family Christmas tree.
The CEO of the National Tree Company, one of the country's leading importers of artificial trees, wreaths, and garlands, says tariffs are causing real trouble in our Tinseltown.
We think that the Christmas industry this year will definitely be in short supply. The tariffs basically stopped production in China for about a month. Many companies tried to shift their production from China to other countries in a very short amount of time, and that definitely clogged up the supply chains.
The National Tree Company says they're bringing in about 25% less product than they typically do because of the strained supply chain. And they also say prices will be about 10% higher due to tariffs.
We've tried to absorb the cost increase across the supply chain. Unfortunately, we've had to pass some of these price increases along to consumers.
And it's not just the National Tree Company. 87% of artificial Christmas trees, ornaments, and holiday decorations came from China last year. So for the majority of companies, pivoting isn't easy. Experts say if you want to spruce up your new home or tree with decorations, you may want to buy early.
Buy it early in one of those promotion cycles that's likely ahead of the 5-day frenzy window, which is between Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
All right, and there are some good deals if you do want to shop early, if you want to shop right now. Both Walmart and Target have savings on artificial trees, with some up to 50% off as part of their special deal days. But as a reminder, those deal day savings end this weekend, so it really would be shop early.
What about real trees?
So real trees, George, I like a real tree. I grew up with them. I think they're amazing. So for real trees imported from Canada, they're actually not affected by the tariffs because they're already involved in, this, George, in that it's Mexico, Canada, America agreement, so they don't work with the tariffs.
I actually didn't know that, but thank you.
I thought I was going to get schooled on tariffs. So we learned that according to the survey by a trade group for real trees. Most wholesale growers are not planning to raise their prices, and they say supply is strong, so that this year, what people are looking for, they also say maybe real trees, maybe the year for real trees, but they say nostalgia is in for Christmas, and so everybody wants those old, antique, classic ornaments.
Thank you, Sam.
Pleasure.
All right, it's a lot to talk about Christmas, but before we get to Christmas, we have 21 days until Halloween. Okay, we still got some time. The life and legacy of a beloved 100-year-old sister who became a staple at March Madness. Will, you had the pleasure of speaking with Sister Jean a few years ago.
I did. It was an honor and a privilege, and Sister Jean became famous late in life at 98 years old, to be exact, but her life until she became the best-known college basketball fan around was filled with purpose and service.
She was one of America's most beloved college basketball fans. Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt was the chaplain for the Loyola University men's basketball team for over 30 years.
That's the guardian angel right there, Sister Jean.
The Catholic nun capturing the sports world's imagination, becoming something of a viral sensation at the age of 98 when her Ramblers reached the NCAA Final Four in 2018. In 2023, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Sister Jean to talk about her legacy.
What legacy do you think that you have left here?
I hope they remember that I'm humble with all this. When they write such beautiful notes to me and tell me I'm such an inspiration, I never knew I was making that impact. I will also want them to remember me as just loving everybody.
And everybody loved her back.
Everyone loves Sister Jean.
She was always just a very special woman.
She lights up when a student approaches her.
Sister Jean Dolores Schmidt was 106 years old.
God bless Sister Jean. And Loyola announcing the passing of their iconic chaplain, the president of the Sisters of Charity Blessed Virgin Mary University, saying, quote, she saw God present in all that surrounded her and trusted in his goodness, and her presence with us will be greatly missed. And I concur.
Yeah,
she
by
was
so many.
Yeah.
Humility and love.
Absolutely.
She will be remembered
and
for
a
both.
whole lot of basketball.
Yep.
Basketball. All right, thank you so much for that, Will. Coming up, we have a rare royal sighting. King Charles and Prince William stepping out together. We're going to have the latest from London when we come back. Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Bracing for a possible nor'easter. The strong coastal storm expected to bring direct impacts to major cities as Sam tracks the frost and freeze alerts right now.
Rare royal engagement. King Charles and Prince William stepping out together for a cause close to their hearts, as the future of the monarchy shows a more vulnerable side.
One-on-one with the future boy.
You built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
Michael J. Fox takes us behind the scenes of two beloved characters, Alex P. Keaton and Marty McFly.
What is it about the movie? Like you say, it struck a nerve at the time. It's lasted for so long.
What he says about filming Family Ties and Back to the Future simultaneously, and their legacy years later.
And how the Pumpkin Queen of Dallas is making magic in the Lone Star State.
We go big in Texas.
Decorating more than 1,000 homes and carving out a name for herself. As we say, good morning, America.
Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
I even had to laugh at myself on that one. Good morning, America. That was enthusiastic. Woo! Well, we do want to thank you all for being with us on this Friday morning. We cannot wait to hear from the Pumpkin Queen of Dallas with Halloween just around the corner. There they are.
There they are. We're looking forward to that. Also ahead, a short burst of exercise called an exercise snack could be good for your health. Dr. Tara Narula is here with new research and what she calls snacktivities. I tend to call it parenting a toddler.
Yeah, there you go, right there. First look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the nor'easter taking aim at the here in New York and across the East Coast. Sam is here with that. Hey, Sam.
Hey, George. Top of the hour to us all. All right, let's take a look quickly at the cold air. It's the frost and freeze that moves in from the Great Lakes into the Northeast. So this morning, these are the coldest temperatures so far. Any frost or freeze you have should be done by about 9 a.m. Eastern. Let's spend our time wisely on this nor'easter. Taking shape off the coast of Florida and the Carolinas as we go through the day today does hit an awful lot of wind and rain in the Carolinas, likely today into tomorrow. It's Sunday into Monday that this low moves up the coastline, becomes a nor'easter that is all concerning for parts of, like, look at this, Atlantic City, Philly, New York, Hartford, Montauk, Nantucket, on into Boston. This will be very big wind and rain along the coast here particularly. So we could see 2-3 inches of rain out of this in some locations. We could see 60-mile-per-hour winds along the coast as well. And this takes its time to pull out because now it looks like there's a big area of high pressure up above it. They both back into the shoreline probably Sunday into Monday. So we're going to be dealing with this storm all the way into Tuesday until they both pull out into the Northeast. That's the way it looks right now, but stay up with your local forecast. Michael?
All right, thank you, Sam. Now to the IRS announcing details of new income tax changes starting next year that could save you money. Elizabeth Schulze is back to break down the numbers. Good morning again, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning again, Michael. So these are notable changes to Americans' taxes, thanks in part to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that passed this year. And it could mean more money back into your bank account. So the IRS says starting in the 2026 tax year, you can see these numbers up there on your screen. These are the new individual income brackets that will determine how much you owe in federal income tax. So if you're a single filer, you earn between $50,000 and $105,000, you will have a 22% top tax rate. You can see the highest rate there is 37%. And these brackets are adjusted for inflation. So that means if your paycheck has not gone up as fast as inflation, you could end up paying less than you paid in the past. Another big change here is to the standard deduction. That's really the simplest way to lower your tax bill. Individuals will now be able to claim up to $15,700 in the upcoming tax season. That's up from $14,600. By 2026, that standard deduction is going to go up to $16,100. So basically going to lower your taxable income by $1,500. There's some other key changes in the law around estate taxes and capital gains. Really never too early to check with an online tax provider or visit irs.gov to figure out how you can maximize your returns, guys.
Good advice, Elizabeth. Thank you. We're going to turn now to a rare royal sighting. King Charles and Prince William stepping out together in support of a cause important to them both. Maggie Rulli is at Buckingham Palace with that story. Good morning, Maggie.
Hey, Rebecca, good morning. Yeah, it's not often that we see the monarch and the next in line out at the same event, and they were both there as champions of the environment.
The king and his heir out on a rare joint engagement, attending a reception ahead of this year's UN climate conference, COP30. The palace announcing Prince William will travel to Brazil to attend the summit on behalf of the king.
This side-by-side appearance can serve as a general show of unity because people have been asking what did the king think about William's comments about the future of the monarchy. But fundamentally, it was really about the importance of the environment as a cause to the whole royal family.
King Charles, a pioneer in the fight against climate change, and Prince William following in his father's and indeed grandfather's footsteps and his commitment to the environment, setting up the Earthshot Prize in 2020.
We owe it to the generations that will follow us to work together, both for their future and for the future of our planet.
William and Catherine both stepping up this week.
Rianne, how are you?
With William marking World Mental Health Day, showing a more vulnerable and emotional side.
You okay?
I'm sorry, it's hard to ask you a question.
And the princess out and about, promoting her work on early years development.
And guys, we're certainly seeing a lot more of the Prince and Princess of Wales. We just saw Prince William and Prince Kate right there out and about over the past 2 days. They've been spending much of their time in private over the past year, handling Kate's cancer diagnosis. But now Prince William in particular seems to be opening up much more and really making the role of the Prince of Wales his own. Guys.
Yeah, we can really see that. Thank you, Maggie. Coming up on our GMA Morning Menu, my conversation with Michael J. Fox, head of his new book. He's taking readers behind the scenes of his two most beloved projects.
An excellent conversation. You don't want to miss that. Also ahead, we have no doubt this news is going to make fans of Gwen Stefani and No Doubt ready to rock, where the band is headed, and why this moment is so special for them. That's coming up in Pop News.
Plus, Jodie Turner-Smith is here. She counts us down to the premiere of Tron Ares. And Sam, you're with Tori.
I get to be with Tori. Now, she's got great deals to maximize comfort, and they're actually your viewer favorites, all from small businesses, all starting under $5. Is that real? All under $5?
Of course.
Tori's
I feel like I pet you like you pet that.
And that's all coming up right here on GMA. But it's so soft over here.
Just like you. Always so soft.
Here in New York this morning. Time for our GMA cover story. My conversation with Michael J. Fox about his new book, Future Boy. Takes us behind the scenes of some of his most celebrated roles, and he also shares his favorite on-screen moment.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
In his new book, Future Boy, Michael J. Fox tells the story of his whirlwind 3-month journey, playing Alex P. Keaton on Family Ties by day.
Well, how do I look?
Middle-aged.
And Marty McFly in Back to the Future at night.
Flux capacitor, fluxing.
When the offer for Back to the Future came in, the first offer, you didn't even know about it.
With a successful TV show, the creator of Family Ties didn't want to risk losing Fox, so never told him Steven Spielberg wanted Fox to play Marty McFly. Actor Eric Stoltz was then cast in the role.
Take us inside the moment when you did find out.
They were shooting with another actor, and it hadn't been what they wanted it to be. And so they were coming at me again. They said, you have this time. I'm going to let you do it, but you're going to have to do the show in the daytime and the movie at night, and I don't want to hear about the movie. I don't want to see. I don't want to hear you're tired. I don't want to hear you get to it. I don't want to hear you're late. He said, read the script and let me know what you think. So I picked up the script. I shook it. Held it in my head. It's the best script I ever read. And,
you were doing this movie.
Oh, I was completely doing it.
So you have this period where you're spending all day filming Family Ties and all night filming Back to the Future. Give us some sense of what your day was like.
Well, that's one of the reasons I wrote the book, because I wanted to kind of follow the breadcrumbs and see where it takes me. And it was really automatic pilot. I found a way to slip out of, you know, kind of like sharks that move while they're sleeping. I just got into shark mode and just kind of, it was ironic given that Steven was involved in the movie. But it was just, it just was this blur. And there was some funny things happening. One time I was on from Family Ties, so I went to get my camcorder, and I was looking for my camcorder, and I was really freaking out because my cue was going to come any second. I didn't have my camcorder, and at the last minute I realized I don't have the camcorder. Marty has the camcorder. Alex has the briefcase. So I mixed up the props. I was looking for Marty's props and Alex's.
You work all day. The Teamsters pick you up. You change wardrobes. And then they, at the end of the night, 3 a.m., 4 a.m., you roll back into the truck, and they basically pour you into bed.
And then the next morning they come, they turn on the shower, make a pot of coffee, get me out of bed. I'd go and have the coffee in the shower, and then I'd be working.
40 years later, this scene is Michael's favorite.
It was amazing. It was so cool because they had already recorded the track, so I couldn't record the track, and they recorded the vocals.
You'd already played the guitar, though.
I play guitar, so I said, what I can do is, you've already laid the track down, but I'll match the track note for note, and then you can shoot my hands. Because if you don't shoot my hands, it's just fake. Some people argue that scene shouldn't even have been there. It didn't make any sense from a storytelling point of view, but there's just something about it. What was important about it was that Marty was a guy who thinks he's not going to make it. No one will buy into his dream. He never gets that chance to really reach people and reach an audience and be the musician he wants to be.
You ended up with what you say in the book is a near perfect movie.
Well, others have said that to me. I don't necessarily say that. I think I'm the near part. I'm responsible for the near part. It would have been perfect without me.
But what is it about the movie? Like you say, it struck a nerve at the time. It's lasted for so long.
It's just about... One thing I think it's about that I think is really relevant right now, and we don't have to get into this, but it's about bullies.
Hello? Anybody home? Hey, think with fly.
It's about standing up to bullies. And we live in a really bully culture right now. And I think there's something about that. There's something about seeing little guys stick up to bullies that people love. I think there's also something about time and about family and about what we mean to each other.
I would think that one of the best things about your life is the little stories people tell you about what the movie meant to them.
Yeah, very much. It's amazing what it means to people. I do these, I do these Comic-Cons, these kind of conventions of fans. And when I first started doing them, I did them because Leah told me about them. And,
Leah Thompson.
Yeah, Leah said she was doing them, and I thought, I'll show up. So I went, and this is about 30 Comic-Cons ago. I went and I thought, well, it's my chance to give people something, like to give them some time with me because the movie meant so much to them. It's very self-centered, because after I did it, I realized I'm not giving them anything, they're giving me something. They've given me something for 30, 40 years. They've given me my life, they've given me my joy and the work that I do, and I'm forever grateful to people for that. They don't know that, however much they say that I meant to them, whatever I meant to them, they meant more to me.
You see that humility there, but he's been so generous with his time and his talent. And of course, his Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's raised over $1 billion in the last 25 years.
Amazing.
He's doing great.
Amazing man.
And it's a great book, Future Boy. It comes out on Tuesday.
us
It's
some
really
Pop
nice.
News.
It's really nice to see him, George.
Yeah.
And he's that special kind of star that I don't know that we duplicate today. Always so open and accessible and can do anything. All right, but take a deep breath and let's dive into pop news this morning because we're talking Ocean's 11 prequel. It's in the works. Margot Robbie is on board to star, and produce in an upcoming prequel to the hugely popular franchise. And now Bradley Cooper is also reportedly in talks to join Robbie on screen. Now the plot details are locked up tight, just like the vaults that they always steal from in those movies. But we know the film is set to start shooting next year, as is a new Ocean's sequel. So prequel and sequel. With Brad Pitt, when something's good, you make it. Julia Roberts, Matt Damon, and Don Cheadle all
Let's
on
sign
board
up for
that
both.
one.
I'm watching those,
Right?
yeah.
I will not miss them. All right, now how about putting on some football pads in pop news? Sure. Glenn Powell is hitting the gridiron in his new limited series, Chad Powers, and showing off both his comedy chops and his athleticism. Now, this morning, we have a look at next week's upcoming episode with a special cameo. You met her on this show. Check out. Will you console her, sir? Didn't see her, but you heard her, and that's Glenn's mom, Cindy. Now, we met her on the show just the other day. Remember? Standing right there, right, with his dad? Well, you got to spend some time with Glenn on the set, and Michael, and you got to see him transform into Chad Powers with some help with some makeup and prosthetics. Now, we know Glenn is the star of the show, but guys, behind the scenes, there may be an equal star, someone else who's in the spotlight. We're talking about Glenn's dog, Brisket. So check out the moment that we captured behind the scenes with you, Michael.
What's that? This is Brisket. Hey, Brisket. Brisket, you want to say hi to everybody?
I'm like more starstruck by Brisket.
Say hi to everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
There you
my
go.
gosh. I'm holding Brisket. Okay, I gotta do a job.
That's one of our amazing producers, Candid. Brisket was here too. The whole show was basically here. The 4th episode of Chad Powers drops on Tuesday, October 14th on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus, with brand new episodes dropping every Tuesday. Now, finally, I have no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that you will enjoy this. Play the music so you know what I mean. Gwen Stefani, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Gwen, this doesn't hurt us. We love it. And her rock band, No Doubt, they've announced that they're officially reuniting, and they're going to go big and not go home because they're going to stay in Vegas. They're booking a 6-night run of reunion shows at the Sphere.
Amazing.
Oh, because when you get to do the Sphere, that's huge. This is the first time in 14 years they will play an extended run of shows, and it comes just as the band celebrates their 30th anniversary. Can we light up the phone? I need to get some tickets right now before everyone else can buy them. Tragic Kingdom was the 1995 album. The show is to begin May 6th next year, and tickets go on sale next Friday on Ticketmaster. That is
super
pop news.
excited. All right, it is time now for day 2 of Deals and Steals Comfort at Home. Tori Johnson is here with products that will make you never want to leave your comfort zone. Tori, great to see you.
Unless you're leaving in Cozy Earth.
Yeah, that's right.
If you want to go out in Cozy Earth,
this is how you do it.
This is how you do it. So we've got a big assortment for at home. We've got the cotton plaids. Those
so
are
nice.
All new for the season. We've got a huge assortment of their brushed bamboo for both men and women. And then lots of like the sweaters. What I love about all of the pieces is that it's like chic, elevated, but still holds true to unbelievably comfortable, relaxed. So like you feel really good, but look polished
You
at the
hang
same
around,
time.
but you don't feel schlubby.
You got it. Plus all of the socks, huge assortment for men and women online, all 50% off, plus free shipping.
Free shipping. We love that.
From Cozy
Thank
Earth.
you, Tori.
Okay, so to create a comfortable environment for sleep, a lot of people really swear by noise machines. So we've got a couple of options from Yoga Sleep. What I love about this is a newer one that has like both the light and then we can cycle through. There's all these like nature sounds on this one, different nature sounds. There's lullabies, there's white noise sounds. So there's lots of different options with this one. If you're traveling, the little mini for on the go is really great.
So helpful as a parent. I know this so well.
Yeah. So for so many people, this is it. All 50% off today. They start at $12.50.
We like that.
Okay. Sometimes comfort means bringing a little joy to your self-care routine. This is Nectar Life. Quick story. They have a store in Disney Springs, and one of our viewers said to me, "You have to get this on deals because they were selling out there. And this is a hand lotion spray.
Okay.
This is a vanilla scent, so a little just quick spray like that, and then it puts that hydration without greasiness.
Yes.
So that's a fun one. We've got their caramel macchiato collection. That's all for the bath and body products. We've got scrubs, whipped body creams, body sugars. I mean, we've got it all. So if you just want a little joy, little macaroon-shaped soap, it's
Cute.
a lot of fun. All 50% off starts at $4.50.
And it smells so
Smells good. Yeah. All right, in the kitchen, some people love the smell of bacon. And when you're cooking bacon, it's really great to have the bacon bin.
How does that work?
You pour the grease right into there.
Okay.
Some people would say to allow it to harden before you throw it away. Others would say you never throw it away.
That.
You use it for other cooking. We've got splatter guards, trays to be able to make crispy bacon with no mess. If you've got Taco Tuesday on your mind, we've got taco upgrades. Just a huge assortment that makes
that's useful.
Yeah, the strawberry slicer, the cherry chomper, all of the tools are designed to make the kitchen more efficient and add some fun, and it's all 50% off.
Yeah, you can get the kids involved with some of this too.
You can, absolutely. Kelvin, we've got 2 different tools from Kelvin. This little one right here, the 17, has all of these tools built in one device. So if you're not
going to that drawer looking around for each and every little piece.
So if you've got any kind of DIY projects, you want this. And then for the car, you want to have this emergency tool, because one of the things that it has is a hand crank for power. So if you don't have battery access someplace else, you can plug into this. Plus it's got window breaker, seatbelt cutter, all of those great tools on it, all 50% off from Kelvin.
Throw it in the glove compartment.
And then finally, from bunions to posture, you can pop on this little baby, this glove.
Tell me.
We've got all of these different compression products.
Feels very official.
That's official. Let me put this on because I want you to feel the vibration. So you can have heat and vibration. Big assortment of products.
I like this.
It feels really good. So if you've got arthritis, any kind of issues with hands, we've got a big option for all your body parts, and it's all 50% off.
And it looks like you can still text with these fingers
all
too.
Important texting.
Thank you, Tori. We appreciate it. We've partnered with all these companies on these great products. You can get them at gmadeals.com. And that QR code on the screen. Coming up, we'll see you in a minute.
Welcome back to GMA, live from New York City.
Seeing Snoopy just makes me smile, man. Takes me back to good childhood. You know, but even Snoopy himself, he needs a little help looking for the perfect pumpkin this Halloween. But our Will Gans, he's in Texas with someone who can help us and Snoopy. Will, tell us about the Pumpkin Queen of Dallas.
Oh, hey, Michael. Well, the Pumpkin Queen of Dallas, her name is Heather Torres, and she and the entire team from Porch Pumpkins here in Dallas have been waiting to tell y'all, Good morning, America. See what we did there? Good morning, America. Now get this, since it began 5 years ago, business for Porch Pumpkins is up over 4,000% from its initial goal of just 30 homes, which is proof that fall fans have been looking for a reason to pumpkin spice up their porches for the holidays.
Everything's bigger in Texas, from the world's largest convenience store to the country's biggest Boots to that seasonal sweat-a-weather spirit.
We go big in Texas, so birthday parties, Christmas, all of the things.
Heather Torres is the fairy gourd mother bringing pumpkin-packed magic to homes across the Lone Star State this season. Porch Pumpkins is for anyone looking to unleash their inner lioness.
It's a great pumpkin!
When it began 5 years ago, the goal was to decorate 30 homes. This year, they've decorated more than 1,300.
Other people might just go pick some pumpkins up from the local pumpkin patch and try it themselves. What do y'all bring to the table that makes it so special?
That's a great question. I've perfected, we call it the recipe, over the years of just how many pumpkins, different sizes, colors, variety that you want to have a beautiful pumpkin display at your front door. Then the second piece is the perfect pumpkin stacking method. There are so many little caveats and tricks that I teach them that really make your pumpkins picture perfect.
Heather's team sourcing local Texas pumpkins and hay, coordinating 20 18-wheelers worth of deliveries, and custom designing each porch in Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, and Austin.
I love taking care of people and bringing people joy. And so to be able to grow each year, to say yes to more people and bring more porches joy, like it literally like makes my heart explode. I'm so happy.
Good morning. And at the end of each season, Heather's team picks up unwanted pumpkins and donates them back to local farms, where the livestock gets to pig out.
Good morning. And Heather Torres joins me now. Heather, so not everybody lives in your service area. For folks at home who want to get this picture-perfect porch pumpkins look, what tips can you offer folks at home?
So first of all, you want to have lots of color, texture, and variety. And so we start with our orange jack-o'-lanterns in actually 2 different sizes, both large and medium. And then we add in our white ghost pumpkins that are here with a beautiful stem, and then our specialty pumpkins. Yes, and so we have here in our stack, we have our gray Girardelle, our fairy tale pumpkin, and a white Cinderella. My personal favorite is the pink porcelain doll, and then my kids' favorite is the one too many, and we say that it has one too many stripes. It usually has like orange, white, and green, and so those different colors, textures, and sizes, and their beautiful stems really help make a display perfect.
I love it. And as someone who pretty much stopped growing in 5th grade, I am a believer that good things come in small packages. So tell me about the little pumpkins.
Yes, okay, so the little pumpkins are our sprinkles on top that just make everything picture perfect. And so first we have our pie pumpkins that are these orange ones here with the stems, and then the gourds are all sprinkled out throughout. And so yellow, greens, oranges, different shapes and sizes. We like to group them together just to really fill in all the holes.
I love it. And I also learned a tip, you guys, if you're worried about any squirrels possibly enjoying the pumpkins a little bit more than they should, you mix hot sauce and water, spray it on your pumpkins, and then you'll be good to go. They apparently don't love the hot sauce. They'll admire it from afar like the rest of us should, you guys. Heather, thank you. Thank you to all of you guys. The group here looks as good as the pumpkins, I think, guys.
You know, yeah, you tell Heather that it's gorgeous.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh.
Really is.
Oh.
Yeah, gorgeous.
The funniest pumpkin in the patch right here.
Well, my teeth are like a pumpkin. Yeah, there we go. All right, Will, thank you, Heather. We appreciate it. Coming up, exercise snack. Dr. Narula is here with the new research saying short bursts of exercise may have health benefits. I'm gonna get started right now.
Now, with a GMA Health Alert, I think is the most intriguing of the week. A new research finds that an exercise snack, it's actually a small burst of exercise, could boost your heart health and endurance. Our chief medical correspondent and cardiologist, Dr. Tara Narula, is here with more. Okay, Doc, explain away.
Okay, it is not aggressively opening a bag of Doritos. And it is not snacks that you eat during exercise, which Sherry and Audio thought it was, right? So we know, Sam, that unfortunately only 30% of adults get the recommended amount of activity, only 80% of adolescents, and most people say it's because they don't have time and they don't have motivation, right? So in steps exercise snacks, as you mentioned, short bursts of moderate to vigorous activity that you do for less than 5 minutes, so very quick, a few times a day, a few times a week. And so researchers wanted to see if you start to build that into your life, could you improve health outcomes? So they looked at 11 studies, about 400 individuals who were 18 to up to 80 years old, who were inactive or mostly sedentary. They looked to see if they incorporated exercise snacks, and for these people it was either stairs, Tai Chi, or leg strengthening exercises. And those
like
who,
your sprint, Mike.
like your sprint.
I'm already ahead of you.
And those who did actually were able to, older adults, improve their muscle endurance, and for all adults, improve their cardiorespiratory fitness. The things that did not improve, muscle strength, blood pressure, cholesterol, and body fat. Now, they did say there was a lot of compliance with this. Obviously, it was easy to do. And the idea is that if people get started on this, it may actually lead to more changes over time and really, building in exercise into your life in these small ways that will translate into big changes long term.
Yeah, I like that because it's attainable.
Yes.
So much about exercise is just mentally getting there.
Right.
Once you're on board with this, what are the best things you can do?
So to increase your snacktivity, I love this word, you can think about things that you can incorporate into your daily life that can be, that you're going to stick with, that you can easily add to work, to your office schedule. So we saw Michael jump up and run off the couch. So sprints like that, sit to stand like this could be really good.
How many times do you need to do that to make it effective?
Well, again, we're talking less than 5 minutes. So it could be 30 seconds to a few minutes. So, 20. Sprints, lunges, mountain climbers, jump ropes, jumping jacks, things like that. That's what we want to think about, lunges. And again, the idea is that a snack might eventually translate into a full main course meal of exercise over time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I
think it's great.
I like this. So I'm going to try this. So whenever I'm not on
You're gonna get
camera,
up?
you see me in the
I was like getting ready to go because I thought you were going to do it again.
Up here right now. My Achilles doesn't want me to do it again.
I don't think I can get up anyway, Michael. So there's that.
We saw the woman lifting the pumpkin gourd.
Yeah.
There's a good
you
one.
You can even do that.
Yeah.
Right. So I like the idea. I think people who don't exercise could.
And then maybe get you into a routine where you start going to the gym along
That's
the routine.
right.
Yeah, why not?
All right. Thank you, Doc. I appreciate it.
For that snack. It's time now for Tron Ares, the third installment in the beloved franchise that's lighting up the grid and the big screen again. And joining us now is one of the stars of the movie, Jodie Turner-Smith. Give it up for Jodie. Welcome back to GMA. It's great to see you.
I'm so happy to be back.
And we are happy you're here. And, fans have been loving Tron for over 40 years. So for you, what does it feel like to be part of such an iconic franchise?
It's so cool, and it's a warm feeling as well. I think it feels like everyone's really rooting for us to make a next great installment. So it's exciting.
And you've done that. We're going to take a look at a clip right now. Let's check it out.
Your directive is to find Eve Kim, return her to the grid, and get me the permanence code by any means necessary. Do you understand your directive? Master control.
At your command, sir.
Atta girl.
Oh boy, cannot wait. Well, yesterday, Greta Lee was here.
Yes.
She talked about the workouts that you had to do, and she had a six-pack for the first time in her life. But she said after all that, you realized you're just training to wear a suit.
I mean, and thank God. I have so much respect for anybody who's ever wearing like super suits. You don't think about these things, but it's like the suit is really imposing on your body, and then you're doing all of the action, and you're running, and you're jumping, and you're fighting. And so, you got to be strong for that. So I'm glad.
You feel pretty cool, though. Feel like a superhero with
Of course. I mean, you walk different, you stand different, you feel different, but it's heavy.
It's heavy, yeah. I can imagine that. And at the premiere, Jared Leto said he walked you through the audition. So what advice did he share with you?
As I was in the process of auditioning, he just sent me a message, and he was like really just sharing advice with me about what the tone was of it. I mean, all those things are always really nice. I mean, when somebody's kind of helping to give you some direction in that sense, because in these things, when the concepts are so big and it's so out there, there's no you can't sort of look to something to figure out how to play that. It was really nice because obviously, I mean, he's also an executive producer, so that helps.
Yeah, that helps a little bit. That helps a little bit. But you had a special guest came on set with you, someone very close to you, your daughter, Juno. Yes. So what was it like to have her on set, have her in the grid?
I mean, at this point, she's a pro. She's in Video Village with the cans on. She's she's telling other people, be quiet. She's so used to it now. She's been coming on set with me since she was 5 months old.
Think she'll follow you in the business?
I mean, I think the world is her oyster, she's gonna do whatever it is that she wants to do.
Yeah, you know what?
Trust me.
I think the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She you kind of go by your own thing too. So when you're filming a movie like this, and there is the history of it, 40 years, over 40 years of history, is there a certain amount of pressure for you?
I don't, not so much. It's more like, it feels really special to be a part of something that that people have loved since they were a kid. And the thing is Tron is such an iconic franchise. I mean, even at the time, the first film was 1982, and I wasn't born yet. But at that time, it was the first time that they used computer-generated images in a movie. And the business was like, no, this is cheating, this is not right. And look where we are now. So it was so prescient in many ways. And I mean, I imagine that to be a kid and watching that, to just have your mind blown, You know, so it's exciting. I mean, obviously we want to continue to blow people's minds, but I think we did.
I think you did.
I hope we did.
And
Go see it opening weekend, please.
You just blew my mind when you acted like 1982 was a long time ago, because I was seasoned by 1982. Well, Jody, it's always great to have you here, and you're always amazing. Love everything that you do.
Thank you. It's always so fun to be here. I know that Jared was here and Greta was here too, and you saved the best for last.
Ooh, talk to me, Jody. All right, Tron Aries is in theaters nationwide today. Make sure you go check out Jody. And coming up, Charlie and Kate Gibson take a look at the middle school reading crisis and introduce us to the best-selling authors who are making a difference. We'll be right back with more GMA.
All right, we are back now with our friends Kate and Charlie Gibson and the latest on the middle school reading crisis, including advice from two top authors about breaking through and getting young people excited to read again.
In our must-listen-to podcast, The Bookcase with Kate and Charlie, we often address the critical issue of how to get young people reading, off screens and into books. Even the authors with whom we speak say reading when young meant everything to them. Fantasy writer Leigh Bardugo.
The greatest pleasure is to read a book and really be taken by surprise.
Now, a new report says there is a middle school reading crisis, highlighting recent data that shows only 30% of 8th grade readers are reading proficiently.
Students are not meeting the bar, the expectations for where their reading should be, but they're also not growing in their reading at the rate we would expect to see them grow. I just want to be really clear. COVID did not create the middle school reading problem that we find ourselves in. It exacerbated it.
If it isn't COVID, why do you think we're having a crisis specifically in the middle school years right now?
Reading means the mechanics and the comprehension. In the secondary grades, students in most places move from having a standalone reading teacher to having multiple discipline-specific teachers, and none of them have the burden of teaching reading. So the problem compounds.
Two authors who have been wildly successful with books for middle schoolers. Rick Riordan, who has written the Percy Jackson series on bestseller lists for years, and now he's out with the spin-off, The Court of the Dead, with co-author Mark Oshiro.
And Catherine Rundell, whose fantasy book Impossible Creatures was an instant bestseller. And now, The Poison King.
The middle grades are formative in so many ways, and that's why it's such a crucial pivot moment where we either create readers or we do not. And the habits that we instill in young readers at that time is, I would say, as critical, if not more, as when they are first learning the building blocks of reading.
Catherine, what is the secret sauce for speaking to this audience?
I think saluting their intelligence. I think a good joke is a salute to a child's intelligence. A child is not a different species. Child love is real love. Child fear is real fear. Child fury is real fury. I think we need to write books for kids that acknowledge that they are needing big stories. A very cool 11 or 12-year-old will come up to me and say, I know it's not true. Obviously, it's not true. Obviously, the archipelago doesn't exist. Obviously. Is it true?
Rick admits writing for middle schoolers is not easy.
There is a false conception sometimes that writing for children is easier than writing for adults. And if anything, my experience has been that the reverse is true. It is very challenging to write well for children in a way that they want to stay up after bedtime under the covers with a flashlight to continue the next chapter.
Rick and Catherine agree. Reading at home, outside the classroom, is critical.
I think the most important thing that we as adults can do is model reading at home. We don't have to stop reading stories with our children when they're 9 years old. We can continue to read with them.
And that does mean doing the voices, and it does mean really committing to the bit. And also, I think never taking a book away from a child, because what they're getting is that muscle of delight in words. What we want is for them to associate words and just real lasting pleasure.
For Good Morning America, I'm Kate.
And I'm Charlie Gibson.
What a great charge.
I love them.
Yeah. For me, that was Matilda. That took me back to reading Matilda as a kid. New episodes of The Bookcase drop every Thursday.
We want to sincerely thank you for watching.
See you on GMA3.
Have a good weekend.